Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today on this video, we are going to recap some of the things me and Chandler shared to some of the people that came out to our meetup last week. Let's get into it. All right guys, so last week me and Chandler hosted our first in-person meetup in Moonshiner's Bar and Grill in Houston, Georgia. We had a good turnout, about 30 plus people came out, and here's some of the things that I gave out to some of the people, the attendees, that I think is very useful. So number one, I was talking to one guy, I'm not gonna say any names, and he was telling me, look, I'm a visionary, I'm an integrator, I kind of do both. And I said, I understand, and that's a lot of us, but let's look at it this way. You know, one, take the visionary integrator test online. If you look that up, look up visionary integrator test, and you'll ask you a set of questions, and it'll say, you know, what they think you are. Now, again, we all can do, most of us as entrepreneurs, we can do whatever we want. We can do anything we want, is what I mean. So we can be both, right? And so that's important to note, is we can be both, but what are we gonna be good at for the long term? What are we gonna be able to do consistently for the long term? And that's the most important thing, right? Because we all can be doing something, but what can we do long term that, you know, consistently? And so that's where it really comes into play, right? Because for example, Chandler, he's a venture profile on the predictive index. That's a whole nother thing. Well, he's also on the PI, or excuse me, on visionary integrators. That's like half and half. I think he's actually more visionary. And so for Chandler, we know like long term, like right now he's killing it as an integrator because he can do it. He can do anything at a high level. But you know, the key here is what can you do for a long term? Because we want to find people that can do their job for the long term, consistent, and actually enjoy what they're doing. So obviously long term, Chandler's going to be a visionary at one point, right, in the company. And we know that. And so we can map that. So that's important to know for all your employees, but also yourself. And if you're more visionary and you're doing integrator stuff now, you need to start hiring executive assistants or COOs under you that can take away some of that burden. Because I guarantee you, if you're in that profile and you're doing integrator stuff, you're not going to be able to stay consistent as long as someone that's a true integrator would be. You're going to get burnt out quickly. It's just a fact of the matter, you know? You can do it for long term, but again, you're not going to be able to do it consistently and enjoy it for the long term. That's one of the things. The second thing here I'll share, and the final thing on this one and make this quick video, is the ability to list on the MLS. Now, we've told a lot of guys on there, like, all our wholesale deals on MLS, and they're like, how do you even do that? How does the seller let you? Well, it's simple, seller expectations. Hey seller, you want 150, and our original cash offer, or original offer, we won't even say cash or not, original offer was 135. It doesn't work for you? Okay, well, we'll negotiate in between, but let's say they only want the seller at 150. Well, if you want 150, Mr. Seller, I can get you that, but I need you to be flexible on one thing with me, accessibility. Why do you need more accessibility? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna expose it to the retail market and have our retail investors and other financial partners come into the property, right? But this is the way we can give you 150, we can close in your timeline and do the same terms as we talked about here today. Okay, I don't care if you come into the property. I don't care what's happening, you know, because if you're giving me my 150, that's all that matters. And so guess what? We set the expectation there, and then when we go over the agreement with the seller, right? Never say contract, we go over the agreement with the seller, then they themselves see on the paper where it says we have the right to list in the multiple listing service. And when we go over that as acquisition agents or home buying specialists, like we call them, well, what we're gonna say is, hey, this is another one of our exit strategies we use. You know, we expose it to the retail market, kind of how I expressed to you how we're able to come up from our price of 135 to 150. And you know, we're just gonna have some of these retail investors come in and out the property. So when they see the property on the market, they already know, they already had the expectation. So they're not caught off guard or mad about it, right? So there's a couple tips. Next month, we're having it in March. We haven't released the time and date. You're gonna wanna come out to this. And even if you're around Georgia, you're gonna wanna come to this. We had people on our meetup coming from North Carolina and Chattanooga, Tennessee, drove 2, 3, 4 hours plus to come to this meetup. I'm gonna tell you right now, we're gonna start bringing in big guests, Steve Trang, hopefully, Eric Brewer, the biggest guys we know. We're gonna start flying them out and coming to speak here. So if you have any person you want to see particular, want to come to the event or want to speak at the event, leave it down below. And please be on the lookout. Check us out on Instagram. You guys know my Instagram is Gino__Palumba, Palomba. And Chandler Sane, right? Chandler's Instagram is at Chandler Sane. Follow us there. We're going to be making announcements. You guys won't want to miss these. And thanks for watching.